you a baseball player that typically deals with soreness throughout the back or the front of their shoulder or even their forearm after their outing, I want to go over today how you can figure out whether that is normal soreness or not normal soreness, which might be indicated of an injury. How do I know this? My name is Dr. Jeff Lewis. I'm the owner and physical therapist of Lewis Physical Therapy and Sports Rehab in Point Pleasant, New Jersey, and I have helped countless baseball players get back to throwing pain-free, get stronger, and throw harder. Soreness is something that all baseball players, especially pitchers, are probably going to deal with at some point or more often than not, going to deal with at some point in their career. What I want to talk about today is when that soreness becomes a little bit more than normal soreness and might even be a little bit more of an early sign of some type of injury that's going on. So we'll take back of the shoulder soreness, rotator cuff soreness more than anything. Guy goes ahead, has his outing, throws 5 to 6 innings, gets a little bit sore maybe that night or the day after. Sometimes that soreness doesn't peak until 48 hours after. He's a starting pitcher, so he doesn't have to be up again he's on 5-day rest. By day 1 or 2 or so, if that soreness is still there, generally I like to make sure and tell guys, hey, if that soreness is there, we want to be mindful of it. What I don't want to happen is I don't want them to be able to be so sore when they wake up the next morning that they literally can't move their arm or they can't even just do any of their mobility stuff. Where I don't necessarily worry about soreness is if it's at a low threshold, a guy goes ahead, he gets warmed up, does his mobility, does his band work, med ball work to get ready to go warm, and if by the time he's done with that warm, that soreness is gone, that's fine. That's a good sign. If that soreness pretty much fully goes away by the time you're done warming up, that's good. And then we want to make sure that as they're going out and throwing, that soreness doesn't come back up or whatnot. Where soreness becomes a concern is if we start to see a guy is getting really sore after just light catch play after 75, 90 feet. They're not stretching out, they're not doing flat grounds, they're not doing bullpen work. If they're consistently getting sore, that soreness isn't going away at any point. It just keeps rather like it's building up to the point where it's getting more intense. We're doing a lot of recovery stuff, but it's not helping. We're giving them a little extra time, soft tissue work, dry needling, anything like that that's not going away by the time they warm up and it's even getting worse as they throw. That's usually more of a sign for me or a red flag where it's like, all right, we got to stop. We got to pump the brakes real quick. We got to figure out what's going on here because that arm, especially the shoulder, is telling us, hey, if I keep getting pushed a little bit further and further, this might turn into an injury, and now we're going to be out for an extended period of time. So that's why I tell guys, it's not a big deal if you have to take a week or a week and a half off, not necessarily off, but maybe just light throwing, no flat ground, long toss, or bullpens to let things recover. So that's generally what we look at from a soreness standpoint. And that's not always a clear-cut answer. This is something I communicate with guys more often than not when they're outside of the clinic here. I tell them, hey, send me a text, send me a message how you feel after this session, how you feel the next day, because we want to make sure we're constantly monitoring that and not pushing them past that point where that soreness is going to turn into an injury. So if you're a baseball player or a pitcher, you're routinely dealing with some soreness, you're trying to figure out what can you maybe do to help improve that soreness, not get as sore, leave a comment below, or you can go ahead and text ARM to the number below in the comment section. We'll get back to you with how a personalized plan can help you with your recovery and soreness.